All right, y'all. Are you ready? Because I don't know if I am. This upcoming run is absolutely fantastic, but I'm not going to be the one to tell you about it. happybythree is going to be the one to tell you about it. Tell me a little bit more about Beastieball.
A bold assumption that I know anything about Beastieball. But hi, I'll do my best. What's up, y'all? I am happybythree. This is Beastieball. This is my personal save file. I got as many trans-colored rare morphs as I could to greet you, and the lesbian flag surveys, because I care about the people. I hear we're donating for lesbians right now.
Let's go, lesbians.
So I brought you a lesbian surveys. This is Beastieball. We will have some time when we get into it to talk about the game and what it is and why you should play it. But before we start, I want to introduce my lovely couch. We have, I don't know what order they're in on the screen, but I'm just going to start with the lovely QuackSilver.
Hello, hello. I'm Quack. I'm very excited, and you should play Beastieball.
And also theValiantSun.
Hello, hello. I'm gonna quote Quack and say I'm very excited, and you should play Beastieball.
It's true. It's true. So, these are my two backup saves. That's my casual save. This is where we're going to create a new save. So, Oofy, what is our starter going to be today?
Well, I'm looking at this. I'm refreshing to make sure everything's good, and it looks like it's going to be Build It.
Hooray! All right, Build It was my starter in my casual run, and the Build It route needed a lot of love this past week because of a patch kind of killing some of our strats. So I have put a ton of time into Build It this week to fix the route, so I feel much more confident about it. So I'm really happy that worked. Cool. So we will go with the Aurora menu flavor because it kind of matches Build It, and then just need to set our gameplay stuff. No autosave. No explanations, obviously. A built-in speedrun clock. I turn off the online stuff so we save a little time when we go to heal, and then intro skips like the whole tutorial basically after the first tutorial fight. So time will start after we create our character, but I prefer to randomize my characters for runs. So Oofy, how many times should I press the randomize button?
5.
5? That's what I do for all my runs, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I was just going to chat called me out because 5 is the proper amount of chuggas before choo choo, so we're going back to 5.
All right. Well, 5 landed us with this little guy.
5 chuggas? I want donation Discord. That can't be right. That cannot be right.
Cannot be right.
Correct.
No, it is not.
No.
It is so correct.
An even number.
These are eighth notes. You need 8 of them to fill 2 full bars, and then the choo-choo is a dotted quarter note and then an eighth note tied to a half note to fill the last bar. Everybody knows.
Can't save us.
Anyway. All right, I've named my character. I've made my character. Time will begin, and I will immediately have to skip a cutscene and start running. So as soon as I press finish, we are like going. So time will begin in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Cutscene skip went smoothly. We need to select our Build It and then sit here because the cutscene skip doesn't work for that part. Now we're doing our little tutorial fight. This is our bestie, Riley. Just a tiny little guy. And this is teaching us the very, very fundamentals of the game while also introducing all 3 of the starters. And then once this is over, normally we would have a longer tutorial that kind of introduces more advanced mechanics and introduces the plot. But thanks to the intro skip feature, we just skip all of that and we go straight here. That's a special secret we'll use later. So now I'm doing a little bit of movement. Basically, the way the early game works in the route is... Oh, that sucks. Oh, speaking of which, hey, anytime I hit a random encounter, I can't forfeit because it's the Reese game. This is the worst day of my life. So this is a huge time loss. It also might screw up my calcs for later, which is scary. We'll see.
Surely it will be fine.
Maybe. We'll see. It might make things a little weird later, but we'll figure it out. Hallow, if you're still in chat, do I need to panic about that extra Reese issue? Hallow is our resident record holder in like several categories and generally extremely talented runner with all the game knowledge anyone could ever need about Beastieball. Dang. Oh, what I was gonna say is anytime that sucks getting hit first there. That is bad luck all around. Anytime I hit a random encounter or a friend like that I don't need to hit, I will donate $1. And they will add up fairly quickly because there's a lot of them that you can technically skip, but they're really hard to skip. So it'll be fine. So now we're into our first grind section. Quack or Jess, do y'all want to talk about why we can just ram our face into losing?
Yeah, so Beastieball, if you're familiar with the like sort of general Pokemon-like creature collector mechanics, operates with a number of fundamental differences because all of the devs have also played Pokemon games for years and understand what makes that experience frustrating for people. So all of the randomness has been by and large removed from the game, but also, and there's some story dress up for it, you earn XP even when you lose a point in Beastieball. Unlike Pokemon, you're not playing to explicitly just knockouts because the game is played on a tactics grid and you can also win with free points, but you gain XP every point regardless of whether you win or lose. Now there's supposed to be some major diminishing returns on this, so you can't just do what Happy is doing right now. However, certain story battles, like this story battle against Jack that you have to win in order to proceed, as a bit of a catch-up mechanic, just give you like non-diminishing XP forever, regardless of the outcome. And so we use the Jack fights to grind up levels while skipping all of the like Guardians and other minor story battles on the way that would just be worse bang for your buck in terms of XP there.
Yeah, and so now that we've done that, the AI is deterministic, so you might have noticed the AI was always hitting Build It because Build It was already KO'd, so it was a free KO, so the AI keeps doing it. What that means is that we have a full health Sprecko, and now that Build It evolves, Build It is full health, so now we can just go back into the fight and win it.
The math behind all of the numbers and things is like we're still working on exactly figuring out some things. We do have some stuff figured out for like very specific levels and encounters, but it is a really like fun little math problem going on. But also I would like to just point out for the people at home, because we have not said this, we are playing volleyball actually is the mechanic for this game.
Oh yeah, it's Pokemon, but volleyball. I forgot to say that.
It's so we are every turn you have 3 action, or like you get to choose from like 3 actions as you would if you were playing doubles volleyball, and then on defense you get 1 defensive action to kind of choose to try and receive the ball.
Yes. So now we're doing a little bit of movement through here. Ooh, that sucks. So your run doesn't like stop when you let go of the run button immediately. You have like a little bit of continued like momentum. So sometimes you just run off of cliffs. Also, like, you know, event nerves are normal. That is actually a really hard throw. That is a skip. That's not the intended throw. Getting that first time is really exciting. Oh, but so the core story, there's a couple things we're doing throughout the story, and one of those is ranking up so that we can, you know, it's basically like a camp has to save the park kind of situation. And to save the park, we need to win the Beastieball championship so that we have some clout and we can say, hey, don't destroy our park. And so to get to the championship, we need to have rank 100 or better to enter the Crown Series. That one probably shouldn't count because it was right at the entrance. I could not have skipped that, but whatever. It's money for charity. If anyone wants to join me, that's $4, $5, because that trat is skippable, but a very precise jump. Oh, so what we found is, normally you're supposed to fight like several gym leaders, and after you hit rank 100 from beating a bunch of different leaders, then you can go into the Crown Series. But if we beat the strongest of the gym leaders, Dominic, then we immediately get rank 100 and can go straight to Crown Series. So what we end up doing in the run is basically doing a lot of movement to unlock warp points on the map, leveling up, getting ourselves to a point where we can beat Dominic, and then we go beat Dominic, and then we're strong enough to just win the game from there. And part of that is that we need to do one more grinding section, and in order to do that grind section, we have to sneak up into this secret area and go get an athletic spray. Because what do athletic spray do, Quack?
Yeah, so this is actually my favorite little Easter egg in the game, because that area that Happy just went to was found as like an out-of-bounds skip in the early demo, and instead of like changing the geometry so you couldn't get there, they were just like, hey, let's put a late-game item there. Athletic sprays double the experience points and this game's equivalent of EVs, like training values that you get for a certain duration. So by popping that and then going into a story battle, we can get XP very, very fast. Also, as Happy does this movement towards that story battle, I will point out that no, we are not using the actual Beastieball canon names for things. They're not called gym leaders in this game. They're called,
I don't remember what they're called.
However,
Coaches.
the fact that chat is not being pedants about this just means that more of you need to play the game.
No! Sorry, my my controller is a mess, and no, there it is. All right, athletic spray and then domain. So I have to use it before we zip, because as soon as we get here, the game's gonna be like, wait, you shouldn't be here, and just like immediately throw me into this. And so now we are going to be grinding until we get to level 35 with our Handicoot, which I know sounds terrifying because we're at level 16, but it actually does not last as long as you would expect. But we will be here for a bit. So the beginning of this is a fabulous time for our host to tell us some stuff, if you want to tell the people what we're up to.
I can definitely do that. I've been absolutely taken aback about the fact that we are playing volleyball with Pokemon, but I love this. I have a $5 donation from Spud, and that is actually attached to our newest bid war that we have just opened up. So that is going to Princess Daisy, because we have opened up a bid war for our starter, or for our character, in Mario Kart 8. So you can choose between Birdo, Peachette, Princess Daisy, Princess Peach, and Yoshi.
Very nice. So one of the nice things about this grind section is, although we are grinding, you can save time through here. Like there are every action that I'm taking, I'm mashing, but I want to switch between mashing like skip and A versus skip and like R1 for end defense versus skip and B for some things. And you need to change which one you're mashing at a really precise time so you don't accidentally open an extra menu and lose a second. Or if you stop mashing, then a animation will play for like the full length instead of skipping it. So although this is a lot of mashing through a grind, it also is like you can genuinely save a lot of time. Like, see how long that is if I don't mash through that animation? It's like 2 seconds each time, which if we do this 12 times in the grind, that's nearly 30 seconds of the run just off of that, right? Like, this isn't just like put your head down and mash A until it's over. This is like I can actually make or break a run off of the quality of the grind.
Yeah, and to an earlier point in chat about the Beastieball devs being based and cool, which is 100% correct. This is also, just to advertise the speedrunning scene, the devs are friends with us. The devs have made a number of changes already. The game's in early access right now to make the run more approachable and more accessible, including it used to be the case that every animation was legally a cutscene, which means that this run used to be literally mashing the skip cutscene button through the entire run, and we were like, hey, we don't want RSIs. Can we please
we were like, hey,
not
this is
have
actually
this
gonna
be
suck.
the case? Can we please have this not be the case? So some animations were sped up and that was removed, and we all breathed a collective sigh of relief.
Yeah, they're wonderful. They fully, the devs that are in the speedrun server will fully just like come hang out. Like if we're all in voice chat working on routing, the devs will just hop in and be like, what you guys up to? How's it going? What's new? Like they're so kind. And if you like the music you're hearing, you may recognize who wrote it, because the composer for this game is LinearC of Celeste fame.
And the soundtrack is better than Celeste. Fight me.
It's so freaking
good. Though.
It's truly so good. Don't worry, when we get to Elena, maybe before Elena fight, I'll go crank the music. So it's louder
Please
than the
do,
effects.
actually.
All right, like I said, we had 20 levels to go, but we're already at 30. So this goes fairly quickly as far as a like 20 level grind is concerned. Yeah, this you may notice that some beasties have like more animations than others, make more sounds than others. This game is still early access, so there's still the artists are still working on, you know, getting every animation and every sprite for every beastie and getting sounds for all the beasties. But they are adding stuff kind of bit by bit, which has been really fun, because like a patch will come out and you start a run and then like a beastie has a noise now that you don't remember, or like an animation you've never seen before. So there's always like little gifts from the devs.
The placeholder animation like cards are also just really, really cute in my opinion, and I really just want a beastie that actually is just like the sketches, because they're
Oh yeah.
they're very good. Do we see anybody who's not finished on Build It?
I don't know if we see anything in the route.
Surely.
Maybe? I'm trying to think. Well, if we notice one, I'll point it out. But I think, because it seems, from what I can tell, like the devs prioritized getting stuff done for like beasties that were used in ranked coaches teams first. So since mostly all we do is fight ranked coaches and story battles, we end up seeing the stuff that they kind of prioritized. But there may be one. So we're at level 33, which I believe means we have 3 more of these. So before we finish the grind, does our lovely host have anything else for us?
Not too much right now. I'm honestly, I have to pick up this game. This is fantastic, y'all.
It's so cute.
But I do just want to, remind everybody, we've got that awesome bid war for our character for Mario Kart 8, Princess Daisy, Birdo, Peachette, Princess Peach, and Yoshi. We got some awesome character options. We also, I gotta wrap the Let's Go Lesbians. We've got Seika and Aloy kiss scene. Please, I need to see that, everybody. I've seen the scene before, but everybody else also needs to see it. It is such a good scene.
I believe we have one more after this. Yes. One more, as long as I remember how this works. 2 more if I don't. And then after that, there is a small deviation here from some of the other starter routes and some of the other... yeah, I think there is one more after this, because this shouldn't get me 35. Yeah, one more. There's a small deviation from some other routes in that we do not fight Jack 2 immediately. You may notice that when our Handicoot evolves into Bandycraft, we are going to have a nice full health Handicoot. We will not, however, have a full health Sprecco. And in order to beat Jack 2, I'm going to need both of those to be full health. But the fastest way to get our sweet Sprecko full health is to go and turn him into probably the best named creature in any creature capture game ever made.
Bold claim, but give the people the name.
A bold claim, but hard to argue with Bongus.
Let's go, Bongus.
Let's go, Bongus.
So we're gonna go catch a Bongus. Ooh. 6. Jumped a little late. You have to skip that one going this way, you just basically have to jump at the very last second. So it's easy to just run into it before you jump.
Can I also
so we
just say
opened
that
this
I'm in
earlier.
love with this running animation?
Oh my god, it's so funny.
The art is
so good.
like Looney Tunes spinny legs. I will point out later when we skip it, but actually some of the beasties and some of the art was done by Jacob Andrews of Drawfee, and I'm a huge Drawfee fan, so that was hugely exciting for me. But Jacob has said on stream that Apostle was his favorite of the beasties he made, and so when we see one later, I'll point it out to everyone in case we have some Drawfee girlies in chat. So we are going to do a little trick here, where I'm going to stand right here, take the Bongus fight again, and then forfeit. And what's hopefully going to happen is that you're supposed to kill Bongus there in order to like make it go away and then be able to interact with these mushrooms as part of the story and to allow Sprecko to evolve. But if we forfeit and just mash A, there's a couple frames where we can just get the interaction anyway. Drum over refresh, and no calming aura, power sap over careful shot, and no bounce. Beautiful. All right, now before he kills me, we're gonna go back and fight Jack. So now we have what we need to win this fight.
I love Bongus.
That's concerning. All right, we're doing it live. So whatever, we should be able to win it anyway. We're doing it live. I think calcs might be messed up from that Reese thing earlier, but I have a plan for how to fix that.
You should be fine here.
Yeah, we'll win this for sure. I'm worried about Dominic calcs being wrong, but I think I know how to fix it. Can you do me a flavor though, Quack, and check what stat boost you get from training with a Sprecko? I just want to know which of my stats is off by 1. This route is very
Spirit defense. Yes, confirming spirit defense.
Spirit defense? Okay, cool. So that might not be an issue for Dominic, but we will see. All right, this is Apostle. This is Jacob Andrews' favorite beastie. Isn't he beautiful? What a guy.
Honestly, he's awesome.
All of the little
Apostle's
guys
great.
in this game are magical.
Not a single bad little guy to be found. So there's a little trick you can do here where you catch the ball as it comes to you, but it's very difficult and precise. It feels good when it happens. It feels worst when you can't catch the ball because your beasties decide they want to play with it. So you're like, I'm trying to do something here, guys. Get out of there.
That magpie's coming for you.
Yeah, really wanted to waste my time.
Used to
We'll
be our
catch you
partner
later,
in the
relax.
build it route. Yeah,
Oh, we're supposed to do a whole thing to get this to come down, but we just jump on a trash can and skip it. Magpike is still our partner. We just won't get it till later. Thank you. All right. So we are headed right now to 1,000 views, which is where Dominic's gym is. They don't call them gyms because gyms are where you train. Oh my god, did you do the thing but not get the jersey?
From
Thank you, Hollow.
Hollow.
Thank you. The last thing I did before this was practice Kitchik, so I forgot. I went through the motions, but I forgot the jersey. Sorry. Everything's fine. Everything's great.
So,
so you may have noticed
Sorry?
You're good.
I have a $5 donation here from Hollow that says, now that's Beastieball.
Now
if
that's
Happy
Beastieball.
goes for the jump off the recycling bin and tree at the end of this grind for the bit, I'll double this donation.
I don't know where that jump is. I'm so sorry, Hallow.
Sorry. Yeah, I feel
wish
like
I
got
had,
this a
but I
little
don't know
late.
where it is. I did trash can skip twice, first try both times. Does that count? But yeah, I did this on purpose so you could see the super fun, clean movement twice, obviously. Oh!
Oh.
That's never happened before. Not sure why there was no hitbox on the right side of that yet, but whatever. At least I got to save the thing. All right, we're back on track. We're a little late, but we're back on track, folks. Now we're gonna get the easiest guardian skip of our life. You just walk past it.
Not every guardian is on the ball.
Early 1,000 views skip at Jack 2. Oh yeah, I haven't learned that yet. Rest and heal, then do the thing. I don't actually need to rest there, but I needed a second to remember where I was in my notes, and that seemed like the safest way to take a break. So getting a glimmering object, getting a little video down there, and then we are going to go watch Dominic fight against the champion. That was Sports King. You won't see him this run. Yeah, here comes and there goes.
You have to check out the OST of this game separately because Happy is criminally skipping through most of it.
Yes, skipping most of the OST and skipping like a lot of good characters.
Speedrunners, SMH.
I'm just mashing both of these separately, I guess. All right. What do we do? So now we are going Ziggy Guardian time. Warp Dicky Kelikit. Buy a jersey patch. So we're buying a thing from this guy because we're going to need it later for our Magpike. It basically makes stat boosts better. Then we're going to go here. We're going to purchase a boating license so we can drive a boat. It also comes with a complimentary boat, apparently. We're going to skip this Guardian by going here. And then we're going to go to the atoll to find our second of the 3 rowdy beasties, or the beasties like Bongus. There's Bongus, Surgus, and Iligus. Each has its own like moves. Each is based on a different type of mushroom, and each of them is lovely and perfect. And as it stands right now, we use a different one in each of the 3 starter speedruns. So we use all 3 starters and all 3 Spreco Evos, which I think is really cool. All right, so I'm doing that because, like I was mentioning before, our calcs are really, really precise for damage output and such for the later fights. So that decision, or like fighting the Guardian there, technically we could skip the Guardian because the skip I'm doing here makes it so we don't need that Guardian to progress. Oh my god, why am I not getting this? Makes it so we don't need the Guardian to progress. However, we do need the 2 extra body defense that fight gives us. A little right of Jeremy. Jump. There we go. God, I usually get that like 2nd or 3rd try. That sucked. So that is Ziggy skip. That Guardian's name is Ziggy. And it's build it. So I just skipped this one too. Same trick as Bongus. You're supposed to do this whole thing where you like fight the Guardian in front of Ziggy, and then you go and like find some stuff and you bring the stuff somewhere else. Oh my god, hi, it's the Kyle Thomas. You bring the stuff somewhere else and then you bring that stuff somewhere else, and it's this whole song and dance. But it's much faster to just jump onto the geometry and not do that.
It's only one of the most emotionally touching beats in the story. It's fine.
I honestly love skipping it for the speedrun because, like, you know, it's a really, really cool, really meaningful, like, bit, and in order to experience it, you need to play the game. Oh no.
Right now we're dunking on Reese because he's trying to prove himself to his boss.
Yeah, we fight Reese twice, and both times we're kind of a bad person. The first time Reese is trying to like prove himself to his boss and we dunk on him, and then later Reese is having an existential crisis and we just dunk on him. We're not a great friend in the speedrun. All right, there's Iligus. So now we can go back 1,000 views. Get the tokens. Get the tokens. And heal. I don't really need to heal, but I like the safety. And now we're going to go get a magpike. This is like our one real RNG check in the run, because we need a level 42 magpike who is also crafty. Level 42 trusting, so not that one. So while I try and find the right one, this would be a lovely time if you have anything for us, Ufi.
I would just love to let y'all know what we're doing, why we're here. So this is Lifeline for Linear, which is a mutual aid marathon raising money for our fellow speedrunner LinearC, who recently became a single mother and has accrued a lot of unexpected debt. In response, her friends and community have come together to present y'all with 5 whole days of amazing speedruns in her support. So if you'd like to help Linear directly, you can donate using !donate in chat. Those fantastic donations, y'all can put it towards some character bid wars, which is always good.
Please. We're getting terrible luck. Hey, 42 crafty. Here we go. Okay. So one of the cool mechanics in Beastieball is how you recruit different beasties. Do you want to explain that, Quack?
Sure. So, unlike in Pokemon, which has very simple catch mechanics that are based on luck, in Beastieball, every beastie has its own unique recruit condition. It's just that easy. You saw the research bars underneath the opposing beasties as Happy did the fight. However, if you fulfill a research condition, even if you haven't, or a recruit condition, even if you haven't fully researched it, you still, like, recruit the beastie in question. And then there's also, like, your Pokeball equivalents in the jerseys have, like, level restrictions on them as well. But Magpike has a fairly simple recruit condition of just use a combo play, which we can do just by progressing the story, essentially. Your beasties naturally become friends with each other over time. It's the cutest thing ever. They have the homestuck relationship quad aspects. If you don't know, Google it. I'm so sorry. But because of Magpike's simplicity of recruitment, they make an ideal partner for the Build It speedrun. I mean, one of many reasons why we like Magpike here.
Yeah, sorry. I like zoned out on that menu because I could not find my place in my notes and I wanted to make sure I got everything right. So I just like stared at it for a second. All right, so now we did some training at the gym to get set up, and we hopefully will not get screwed over by that one extra mind defense or spirit defense. Magpike, Bandicraft, Bongus. All right, let's go fight Dominic and hope everything goes how it's supposed to. If not, we will figure it out as we go.
Good luck, good luck.
Bad start. I'm pretty sure Bo is supposed to take 21 damage there. I have no idea why he wouldn't, because I did everything like normal on Magpike, but it's fine. Yep, he should not hit Magpike there. He's supposed to hit Bandicraft. I think I have a solution. I have an idea. Mr.
Right.
Krabs, I have an idea. Do I have any money? Yes, I have just enough money to try this. I'm going to give Magpike 1 extra of each defense, so that hopefully that puts it so that things happen the way they're supposed to. But yeah, this is how precisely routed this game is, right? Like, we are expecting exact numbers so we can get through Dominic, because as you can see, Dominic is a significantly higher level than we are. All right, hopefully that doesn't kill. 99, that's what we're looking for. All right, dig, pressure into Bo, and hopefully this continues to work the way it's supposed to. Gonna move to block Bandicraft. Oh, you want to explain blocking actually while I do the rest of this fight, because it's pretty uneventful.
Yeah, there's a couple of different ways that you can kind of shield your teammates from damage. There is shield, which actually shields yourself, but then there's also a block mechanic. So once you are up at the front of the net, you can basically block the attacking beastie, and that means that the it reduces the damage. Again, everything on this is like deterministic, and it basically is like multiplying by halves or 1.5, or dividing by like those numbers. So by blocking, we're able to reduce a bunch of damage. You'll also sometimes see that Happy will have, one of the beasties will have a really low health. For example, Bongus has 7 right now. So we'll see that we're moving out the Dominic AI basically to target Bongus because Bongus is really low, and we can just move Magpike sometimes in front, or another beastie in front to like take that damage because we know that the AI is going to try to target this.
That's bad. They're supposed to hit Bongus there. Yeah, this is unwinnable. All right, I'm going to give this one more shot and kind of like just do it live. We're just going to improvise, and then if it does not work, I will switch over to that backup save because the backup save starts immediately after this fight. So worst case scenario, if that's what has to happen, you won't miss any content. But that is good to know that hitting that Reese block early messes up the calcs. So for like, you know, grinding PB runs, I know to just like reset if that happens. Because this is also going to make the whole Crown series weird, but whatever. We'll do it live. It'll be fun. I got Bandy. Back forward.
Quack, do you know the naming convention for Dominic's team?
I don't. I have a feeling it is in a display. So all of the ranked coaches and a lot of other story trainers besides have nickname conventions for their entire team, which are incredible. My personal favorite is Elena's, who all of her beasties are named after Poketubers. It's so good. They go to some wild places for like inspiration in terms of some of these nickname themes. I don't know what's up with Dominic though.
Serena? Okay, this is expected behavior, so we might be good. That death may have saved us. Pressure into Serena's slot, and we should get Ali. Perfect. Shield our Bongus. Please hit Bongus. Please hit Bongus. Please hit Bongus. Let's go. All right, we're good.
Anomaly also posted this as soon as like Ali came in, and I was like, wait a second, these are athletes.
Yes, it's like Muhammad Ali. Sorry, I was so distracted. Yes, it's all athletes.
Oh, Ollie and Ruth, sure.
Yeah.
That's boring. Bring on the Poketubers.
Yeah, the Poketubers are great. Okay, we survived, folks. So now, you may notice the game says that we are still rank 1240. This is a glitch. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to check. Yes, the glitch is happening. So I'm going to save, leave, and then reopen the file. And magically, when I reopen the file, I will get a call, and then I'll be rank 100.
It's just that easy.
Greg, the lead developer, does not know. Did I forget my platinum sponsor? Oh my god, I forgot to go talk to Reese. Sorry. Greg, the lovely lead developer, does not know why that's happening, but knows how to fix it. And that's what matters. Cool. So there's that. Now I can go do this. Do you want to explain the whole platinum sponsor thing while I'm
so one of the story conditions for being able to enter the Crown Series, as Happy mentioned, is that you need to be at least rank 100, which you're supposed to do by beating a number of ranked coaches, but which we shortcut by doing Dominic. The other stipulation is you need a sufficiently high order sponsorship in order to enter the Crown Series, because the Crown Series is hosted by the Sports King, who is big esports money TM, and so it's all about the sponsorship. Casually over the course of the game, you'll go on several sort of dismal sponsor interviews and stuff, and there's some very funny cutscenes for it. But practically all you need to do is the story beats with the Spreco morphs in order to get the BC Research Society to sponsor you. However, we even skip all of those fights, so really just by touching 3 mushrooms and then going and talking to Celia, we now have the sponsorship of the most prestigious research institution in the land.
Hooray, speedrunning.
Yeah.
Volley, set, pressure, lioness. And it died. Cool. I think we're back on track from those losses. That's nice. Pressure Sabretooth. Griffin comes in. Beautiful. Then I'll pressure Griffin, and then we'll be great. Fabulous.
Griffin is the evolution of Kitschik, which was the other option for the starter race, so we do get to still see.
Oh my gosh, Jack is Riley?
What? No.
What?
You saw nothing. Now we're going to fight Reese. So this is the time when Reese calls us and is like, I'm really going through it, bud. I'm kind of having a crisis. And we go, okay, you want me to come one-shot all your beasties? Will that help?
Yeah, to be clear, Reese is having an existential crisis because it has just come to light that the unmitigated greed of the esports franchise at the center of this world is polluting the proverbial groundwater and potentially bringing about an extinction event to all beasties. Not to ruin the mood or anything, but this is entirely divorced from reality. And while Reese is in the middle of this existential crisis, we're like, hey, what if we played sports and wiped the freaking floor with you?
Yeah, and now we need to go play sports with God.
Oh, yeah.
What is fun, though, about Reese, though, is you can lose that fight, though. And it lets you progress the story.
Yeah, that is like the one, I think the one story beat that, like, if you lose, the game's like, okay, you still got the story beat, that's fine. All right, so now everything's bad because God's mad, so we have to go play volleyball with God.
Yes,
Can you please not skip that cutscene, by the way, at
Absolutely
the end?
not. You better believe. This is a very forgiving estimate, and we have like infinite time. I forgot a menu, so I'm gonna forfeit. I forgot my pre-God menuing. How could I?
I'm sorry. I'm still just stuck on the fact that we're playing volleyball with God.
Don't worry
about it. Do you need to go back up and heal?
I do, yes.
Okay.
And then cold calc, and then so this would be a great time if you've got anything for us, Ufi, while I go heal because I'm dumb.
I want to remind everybody about that character bid war we have for Mario Kart 8, and I want to remind everybody because it's currently tied, and we can't have that. We can't have.
You literally cannot play two.
That's the thing. We physically cannot do that. So currently we have Birdo and Princess Daisy that are tied up. Let me refresh to make sure that they're still tied. Yeah, y'all, we need to untie this. So please get those donations in for your character bid war, or I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I really don't know.
Sadly, we did not get the RNG for it, but there is a version of this flowchart that I just discovered and solved earlier today, where it ends up that both of your beasties like can't use any attacks, but you can still free ball, and God has exactly 1 health, so you kill God with a free ball, which is certainly something.
God has exactly 1 health is probably the phrase I never thought I would hear, but I know I needed to hear it. Thank you for that, Happy. I really appreciate that.
I'm so happy to help. But yeah, so this is Beastie God Shloom. Magpie block. What do I do next? Oh, I need to free ball, right? Yeah, this is one where I can't do anything. Or no. Volley. Set. No, this is a free ball, yeah. I should trust my flowcharts. It's almost like I worked really hard on them. No defense to give up a point. I only spent literally 40 hours last week fixing the flowcharts for this run. It's not like they're trustworthy or anything.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, we've skipped all of the previous instances of this, but obviously, Beastieball typically 2v2, nice, but the God fight is a rowdy fight, so the Beastie magnetizes all attacks to it, they get, like, extra actions, they get a bunch of health. Shloom actually has the most health of any boss fight in the game. It's got 400, but its trait automatically decreases that by 10 at the end of each of its turns. Very clean. And we are, in fact, making the playoffs right this very moment. It's time for the Crown Series. Seeing you defeat God at sports is amazing. I mean, no, the best line in the game is the one from the beginning where it's you best start believing in sports animes, kid, yeah. You're in one.
We skip that because it's part of the intro that we skip. But yeah, they're like, do you watch sports anime? And if you say no, they're like, well, you better start because you're in one.
specifically if you pick the dialogue option, I don't believe in anime, which the mere fact that that is an available dialogue choice proves that the devs know their audience.
Quack's wife is on screen. Quack, I'm not going to speak this entire time. You can just talk about Elena.
Okay, so Elena is me and also my wife. Elena is a toxic streamer meme lord who fights with, like, when you first fight her in the story, she pulls out like a full stall team against you. And you'll notice that her Twitch chat is on the screen. I
messed up I forgot to menu again.
Do your menuing. She pulls up her Twitch chat on the screen, and in her gym leader fight, she's like, you're not worth my time. Hey, Twitch chat, who should I target with all of my attacks? And you can read her targeting decisions in the stream chat. It's immaculate. All of the major NPCs in this game, you also have like friendship events. They give you their contact information afterwards, and you can guest star on Elena's streams, and it's, oh my god, it's magical, and I would pay an inordinate amount of money for the Axolotl sweater that she is currently wearing. Hi, friends. I'm so normal about Beastieball.
So if aim gets swapped in, we have to read chat for our next move. So we're seeing more Bandycraft than the other one. But Bandycraft is pretty high. But my notes say tag out, so I'm going to tag out.
Nice.
Love reading chat for our next move is still just like my favorite thing that it actually works.
And of course, we did sort of breeze past the fact that Elena does Fortnite default dance on you just constantly. Have I mentioned she's my wife?
All right. Now we have to be our friend's boss at volleyball. Oh my god, why is my menuing so messy today? There we go. It's almost like it's my first time doing this in an event and I'm nervous. What a concept. I love the little noise Toadstool makes.
Yeah.
Alright, Toadstool KO means that we pressure the slot. And then we assess. Volley, set, pressure Toadstool, which will get us that. And then we can pressure you. And then assess again, because Bandycraft should be good if I'm doing my calcs right. Yes. Oh? Well, we've gone off script, folks. Let's do demanding set. Oh no, because I didn't give you anything. So let's just drum for safety and then this, and hopefully you don't switch out. Of course you switch out. You're a monster. 63, 74, shield for safety, but we should be fine. We're going off script, folks. All right, losing a point there is no big deal. And I'm going to check real quick what damage we have. Oh, like nothing. Yeah, we're safe. We're fine. Yeah. You do like no damage to me. You can't hurt me in a way that matters.
Bottle is just a little baby and cannot do any harm.
Oh, that's frustrating though. Shield should get me there.
The stall to bring the Platypulse back online. Platypulse has one of the most insidious traits in the game. It draws all mind type attacks to it. Something we should mention now that we're in the Crown series is there's no type chart like Pokemon. There's just 3 stats: body, mind, and spirit, that have offensive and defensive stats on all the beasties. That plus status effects plus the 2x2 tactics grid takes the place of the type chart typically. Platypulse is like the definitive mind wall in the game.
Yes. Which is why normally we try to route out the fight in a way that just sort of avoids it altogether.
Yeah.
So we shield Bongus here, even though usually the attack doesn't go to Bongus, just because, like, it's good later, trust. Crap. Pressure to Grendel if KO, yes. And then just Pressure Bilba for a KO? Of course you have too much health. Let's do this then. We're going slightly off script again. I think everything's slightly messed up because of the thing earlier that I mentioned. Yeah, we are truly improvising like this whole series. Even if you swap in, you should die? Hooray! The next one, the next two, I'm a little more scared of the improv. These first three, I'm like, if we have to improvise, I'll be okay. But it gets a little scary here. But we're gonna be great. Everything's gonna be super cool.
And it does give us an opportunity kind of to see, as Happy's menuing, that you can actually see the predicted damage from your team as well as their team about what damage. So you are able to kind of suss out where they're going to go by doing that math.
We're doing this fully. Luckily, we have enough time that if I screw up and have to redo everything, it's still doable. But, we are supposed to be, we're supposed to have Bandy in the second. This is informing me that I need to, let's do this. Thank God for partners, huh? Yes, partners got us there. We're doing it live, folks.
Let's go. Just that easy.
All right, release that pressure.
Chat, you best start believing in sports anime, because Happy is certainly in one right now.
Let's do this because they all take more damage. And I was hoping Bluey would come in. Cool. I think my best bet here is honestly, you don't kill, you don't kill.
You can see that placeholder art on Bluey though, which is fun.
Yes. Let's assess for the people. That's what I thought would happen, but it shouldn't kill. Beautiful. And hopefully you don't swap out. Be cool. Thank you. Okay, we should win here then. This is also telling me that I need to make a different color green for the menus on my notes because I keep skipping that green for some reason. My brain is just like, I don't need to pay attention to that header. Electrolytes. Cool, and then remember to put Bandycraft second. And it's time for Barnes. This one's scary. Barnes is, even regularly, Barnes has the most complicated flowchart, and it's not close. Barnes is 2 full pages. No one else is more than 1.
Yeah, Barnes is the speed racer. Also, this one is especially problematic, both in terms of the setup and also just in terms
skip all of that.
Yeah, just in terms of Barnes's
right, so Carlos died.
Dialogue choices.
Danny.
But Barnes's team is all based around like high mobility beasties, including some moves that like teleport them on the field, as well as just like auto volleying the ball back and forth. So there are a number of permutations of like scenarios that he can contort his own team in, depending on AI choices we can't quite see through yet.
So fun fact, we're not supposed to hit Fernando there. Usually Danny takes it, but like, if it works, it works. I'm just gonna put Magpike back in.
So, as we said too, a lot of the AI is deterministic, and most of the AI is kind of like, oh, we want to do the most damage, but Barnes's AI is biased towards, I think, movement things, and also like swapping people out, which is why it's so much harder to map his fight, because his goal isn't to do damage.
Yes. You may also notice that all of his characters, I'm sorry I skipped it, it's a habit. Guess you'll have to play the game.
Guess you'll have to play the video.
All of his characters are named after F1 drivers, which is on brand considering the mobility focus and being dressed like an F1 driver. All right, so I have now survived all but one fight through sheer, like, improv and prayers. We just got to get through one more.
I also do want to take a moment to just note that this is Gene, and he is a French drifter who fights you with a team of beasties named after philosophers while a techno remix Bach fugue plays. This is the greatest video game of all time.
It's the greatest video game of all time, guys.
You
I
literally
don't know how
just
to
sold me
explain
with
to you.
that.
Nice pressure there. Okay.
It also means that France exists in the Beastieball universe.
Yes.
The
If you've ever-
implications of that.
If you have ever wanted to get your absolute, if you've ever wanted to get absolutely bodied by Foucault while Lena Raine's Bach techno nightmare pumps in surround sound.
I really love the Gene fight in this run because with Build It, you may have noticed Foucault does all of the attacks. It worked out. Foucault always attacks, so we just let Magpike get hit by the attacks and then one-shot the other stuff. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, I forgot to heal before the final fight. It's fine,
no.
probably.
Oh no!
I'll be all right, probably. You guys are not doing a good job selling this.
No, not at all.
Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. We have time. We're not going for record here. We're having fun.
So the final fight against the champion, the Sports King is insisting on doing some alternate mechanics with
How many times do I have to do it before he does it?
like hype meters and extra health and a whole bunch of other rules.
He's not doing it? All right.
I think you have to lose a point before you try to forfeit, and he'll punch
Oh,
it.
you have to lose the point first.
I think
for
so,
him
yeah.
to do the bit. Okay.
But this fight is actually essentially just an auto-scroller because you no longer have to win anything. You can just let your beasties continually die and try to forfeit. And eventually, with the power of anime friendship, you can...
Yeah, I don't know why he's not doing it. Maybe the hype meter needs to be up first or something, but if you surrender enough times or try to forfeit enough times, eventually the Sports King... Oh, it might be after this music starts you have to do it.
Yeah.
So now every time we lose a game, one of our friends we've made along the way shows up to be like, no, actually, Sports King, you suck. There it is. he just fully will not let us forfeit. He breaks the fourth wall and punches the forfeit button out of our way. Oh, the audience is booing. Boo us, chat. Boo along with the audience.
Yeah, we can see the score is 6 out of 3 points needed. We're kind of, you know, getting our butt kicked right now.
But we're getting our butt kicked on purpose to fight capitalism. So now we're going to go talk to our friend.
Yeah, it's gonna be at this hug.
Time. That's Beastieball, y'all. That is a fully improvised version of Beastieball. All right.
Absolutely stick handling it.
Because of the improv, that took a little longer than anticipated. So I will go through shoutouts super fast so that we can get on to the next thing. First of all, I am happybythree. If you want to watch me play this game, I will hopefully be doing more of that soon over at twitch.tv/happybythree. Shoutouts to Hallow for running so much of this game and figuring out so many things that help us. Quack and Jess, thank you for being on my couch. Also Quack for the original Hog Frog route, and Jess for helping figure out math and calcs. Zonk for combining the Hog Frog route with the Dominic concept so that we could do Hog Frog this way, and congrats on being the Trat Queen, always in our hearts. And Odd Anomaly, who's in the chat, for being the one person willing to smack their head against things 20,000 times until they finally find a skip that saves us like 10 seconds. You're an angel. And of course, to the developers, Greg, Epiphany, and Ray, and the rest of the squad, and Lena, Rain, and everybody for making literally the best game, and it's not close. That's all my stuff. Do y'all have any, where can they find you, and shoutouts and such?
Sure. Relevant for this is that I'll be back here a little bit later. I'm going to be running the most serious category of Hollow Knight that you ever did see, following the IGN guide to completion, later this weekend, raising money for Linear. So that'll be fun. That's all I got. Happy said it really well.
Yeah, really happy to get to help do some comps for this. I'm gonna probably keep hitting my head against the wall to figure out some more math flow charts because I really want to solve the full math problem. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much, y'all.
And
Blast.
thank y'all
Go
so much
play
for
Beastieball.
coming. That was fantastic. Everyone, get up, stretch your legs. We'll take a quick little break, but we will be back in just a moment.
Thank you for hosting.
All right, y'all. That was absolutely a fantastic run. However, I have ended my time with y'all, but I'm going to be handing you over to one of my favorite hosts for our next run of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Y'all are going to be with the absolutely fantastic Addie Joe. I am ready to hear that wonderful, wonderful voice. Take it away, Addie.
Ophelia, thank you so very much. Gamers, let's give it up one more time for Clockwork Ophelia. Phenomenal, phenomenal job behind the mic. Gamers, you know what time it is. Speedrunning fans around the world, you are watching Lifeline for Linear live on Twitch. This is a 5-day mutual aid marathon raising money for fellow speedrunner LinearC, because sometimes you just need a little help from your friends. Like Ophelia said, my name is Daddy Joe, and I am so excited that we get to hang out one last time as I join you for the next 2 runs. Now, although we have an absolutely stacked schedule today, heck, all weekend, and maybe I'm a little biased because it's the runs that we're going to get to hang out for, but we have 2 action-packed runs coming your way that, trust me when I say, you are not going to want to miss them. We're currently getting set up for Pease's 24-track Mario Kart 8 Deluxe run, and while we're doing that, I'd like to take a minute to remind us about why we are all here. We're here to help our friend Linear. Linear recently became a single mother to her 9-year-old son, Ken, and we affectionately call Ken-kun in the community, and because of this has accrued a lot of unexpected debt. The speedrunning community, one that I know all of you to have unparalleled generosity, heard of what Linear was experiencing and wanted to step up. And that's why we are all here. Now, I said it the last time I was with you, and I say it again. I'm a new dad, and my life changed forever once baby Bingus, as we call him in the community, was born. I'd really, truly, honestly do anything to keep him happy, healthy, and safe. And that's why I'm here, because I know that Linear only wishes the same for her and Ken. So if you can find it within yourself, if you are so inclined over the weekend, or if you simply just love the amazing speedruns that are on display, please, please consider donating. 100% of your donations will go directly to help Linear and Ken. And gamers, donating is oh so easy. We have several ways of which you can do that. You can follow the pin message at the top of our Twitch chat. You can click the donate button under this stream, or simply type !donate in the chat. All three are going to send you over to our donation landing page. And once you're there, simply fill out the form, submit that donation. No donation is too small, and whether if you're going to donate under a name, anonymously, you have a message to leave us, or no comment, every little bit is going to go towards helping Linear. And hey, gamers, while you're there and you're putting that donation in, make sure to select one of our open incentives so you can help shape the outcome of these incredible runs while helping us help Linear. And speaking of those open incentives, everybody, this is last call for the character bid war for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, in this bid war, you get to decide who Peas will race as during the run. So let's go ahead. We're going to take a quick refresh and see where things are for that incentive. And we have a tie, everybody. This is very, very tight. We've got Princess Daisy and Birdo both in first place. So if you want to break that up, if you have a choice, whether if it's Peach, Daisy, Peachette, Yoshi, Birdo, the time is now. We're going to be closing that out at the start. You got to make sure that you make the decision for him so we know exactly who Peas is going to be racing as. Now, once that closes, fret not. If you're looking for something else to attach those donations to, we've got an open incentive for Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC. Now, that's the run that's coming up immediately after Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And if we're able to raise $200 by about an hour and 20 minutes into Redoc's run, we're going to get to see a very touching and romantic scene between Aloy and Seika. Now, chat, we need to show everyone out there that love always wins. So when you go to donate, select that kiss scene incentive and help us help Linear by meeting that incentive. I believe in you, chat, that you can make that happen. Now, everybody, this is a great time to just enjoy some of the tunes, stretch a wee bit, grab some water. We are almost set and ready for our next upcoming run, so we'll be back with you shortly.